Welcome to Ron English's Big Genius Show. I'm Michael D. Today's guests are Ethan Cohen, Scatchface, and Sucklord. Well, let's check in with Ron.
Me, Ron English, big genius. I'm not calling myself a big genius. We have all the big geniuses on this show. Tonight we're with we're back with Ethan Cohen and Michael D'Antuono, and they're hyping a show. Tell us more about it, guys.
Back to school. Come to our homecoming and check out social studies, sex education, hip hop 101, the Silver Fame Factory with Ron English and Mike D. Artists are going to take over the high school, and I guess. Being a principal, I guess I have to sort of try to learn how to manage and listen to the artist and keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Which is great.
You still fit in a locker.
Oh, I think.
And what the hell are you going to do, Mike?
Me?
You're the janitor, right? You got to keep the place clean.
I'm going to try to stay out of detention. Oh. For a change. You know. And if
so tell us, who were you in high school?
Who was
I?
You
were the cool kid, right?
Yeah,
who were you?
Fonz in high school. Are you kidding me? I was too cool for school. But this time, this school is cool enough that I'm willing to be there. So be there, be square.
Squirt beer is urinated by squirrels that drink 100% pure Rocky Mountain spring water.
And right now we're in the Silver Fame Factory, which is where we're going to recreate a night at Warhol's studio with Edie and Andy and all the stuff that kind of went on there. It's kind of a little history lesson. It's for educational purposes.
We want people to be more in the English class, which you happen to be, being Ron English. You're in charge of English 101, 202, and 303. We're going to have to make sure at least some of them are going to learn English. So you have to try to tease them away from sex ed.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, one of the fun things that I learned through you actually is, we always, when we look at Andy Warhol's artworks and prints, and we talk about like diamond dust, on his prints. And in fact, it was you, Ron, who pointed out what diamond dust was. Diamond dust is what? Crushed glass?
Yeah, they didn't use diamond dust. I think that they just sort of said that. And a lot of people think that they went to the diamond district and got dust off the floor when they were filing down diamonds or whatever they thought. But no, it was crushed glass. And the way they worked, and the reason they got so much work done is that they were all on meth. And so they would stay up for like a week straight without sleeping, doing meth, and not wearing a mask. And what you do is you silk screen the piece with glue, and then you throw the diamond dust on it. So this or glass. So the whole air is filled with glass for a week. They're high, and awake for a week on meth.
Wow.
And by the end of the week, they were all coughing up blood and had to be rushed to the
hospital. No worries,
hospital.
we're not going to have diamond dust here, and you don't no meth here. This is like a drug-free space.
I pledge my recess to the game of tag, a break for my teachers I cannot stand, 10 minutes of recreation with bats, balls, and juice boxes for all.
I'm super into process, and I like every aspect of making art, and I do overdo everything because there's probably no reason for me to build big maquettes and models, but I enjoy that part, and I enjoy the fact that as you go through that process, you make discoveries that you can either put into the painting or not put into the painting. But a lot of things that are in the paintings that happen wouldn't have happened if you didn't expand the process and do a lot of different things. So what's your best high school story?
My best high school story?
Did you beat up kids or did you get beat up?
We just smoked pot and rode skateboards.
Oh, yeah, that's what we were, except we didn't have skateboards. We took Tylenols and Seconals and Plastidils, and fuck, God, it's insane.
I never did PCP.
Nobody ever will admit that. I try to talk to my old friends and like, remember we did PCP?
All right,
like,
fine, I did PCP.
So what are you doing for the show?
So I have a few things that I'm working on, but there's one piece that's very provocative. It's trying to shine a light on America's obsession with violence, and we'd be doing ourselves a disservice by not pointing out some of the horrific things that are going on in high schools nowadays. I think it's awesome that it's a fun show and everyone's having fun. I don't want to bring it down, but I also think that like we need to address some of these issues, and we can still have fun doing
Yeah, we
that
can
too.
laugh at the school shooters, right?
We burn books here.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're going to burn books, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna.
We are going to have a book bonfire because that's to tie into the larger event is called Beacon Bonfire, and there's going to be like 40 venues lit up with music, and they identified the venues with a bonfire out front.
It might get cold. You know, I got to burn some books.
Yeah.
It's okay to burn this book because when the devil's words, we'll burn it. Burn it. Satan, be gone! They're cheering. Burn books. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it.
I like nuggets.
I think we lost half our audience. Anyway. So some graffiti artists are anonymous.
That's true.
Yeah. Why?
They piss a lot of people off. Oh. I try to only piss off a small amount of people and only piss them off a little bit.
But wouldn't you sleep better at night if you were anonymous?
I usually pass out every night. So.
Oh, okay. I used to hang around with the Billboard Liberation Front and Jack Napier, and
They probably pissed a lot of people off.
but we would do stuff, and then I would realize like we would get into a bunch of trouble, and they would come after me because he was anonymous. Yeah, and I thought, man, God, you're so smart. I never thought of that. And
Are they smart? Who's?
Oh yeah, he was. Well, he
People
finally
know them.
He
They know Ron
finally
English.
he finally came out after a million years of doing it, and nobody cared.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was sad. But because this other guy Banksy came along, and kind of now people were like, "Who's Banksy?" So
Never heard of
before
him.
that, they were trying to figure out who led the Billboard Liberation Front and who was Jack Napier really, and it was weird because I actually knew who he was, and I also knew that his headquarters was in Oakland in the clock tower. He does neon work, so he made a deal that he would fix the neon in the clock tower in exchange for getting to have his headquarters behind the giant clock. So it was almost like a superhero, but he was behind that clock. And when you went to have a meeting with them, his crew, you're on the other side of that giant clock, looking out over Oakland.
Super villain or superhero?
It sounds more like Quasimodo to me.
Yeah, Quasimodo.
Swinging from the chandelier. Everyone that's someone's up.
You can lead a horse to harbor, but you can't making me think. Picture this now.
Tell me a little about your mother.
What the fuck are you, my therapist? Are you serious? That's your
seriously-
first interview question.
I heard.
This is a
You wanna
therapy
tell me
show.
about your mother? What the fuck?
I told you I'd make you uncomfortable.
I've met your
Not
mother.
making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. She's
What
very
did your
nice,
mother
yeah.
do for a living?
Well, she made tit clamps and anal riveters and stuff like that.
Well, a question that people always ask me, so I'll ask you, is what is the important meaning, significance of your art?
Really? We're gonna go.
Are we really doing
The
this?
tit clamps and the.
I mean, we
what
were
was-
all chilling, having a great time, fucking around, diddling around, shooting the shit, and now suddenly it's this big art interrogation.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Like
I
as
was,
soon as the camera started rolling, it became like, you know,
I
this
want-
inquisition.
I want to
where-
know about the tit clamps.
If you really want, you want it. When I was a little boy, my mommy went into the nipple clamp business. There was a niche at the time in the late 1970s when the gay S&M culture was flourishing, and there was a need for accoutrements, you know, that went along with that particular lifestyle. And my mother, recently divorced, needing a way to make an income, discovered a narrow little niche of a particular community that needed to be serviced by high quality S&M nipple torture products. In fact, her and my father innovated the adjustable nipple clamp. Prior to this era, most of the nipple clamps available on the market were these cheapo fly-by-night, you know, half-ass, you know, not well-made products. But my mother and my father brought elegance to the product and introduced the set screw that allowed you to adjust the pressure on the clamp. This is all stuff that they made out of just things they bought on Canal Street. Back when Canal Street was like all surplus stores, they bought like the chrome chain and the little electrical clamps. It was all just assemblages of little, you know, industrial pieces of you know, equipment that were available.
You're doing porn? Did you? Last time I saw you, you said something about.
Yeah, I've been dabbling in porn for the last couple of years.
With a difference, though. There's a difference with yours, right? You do a little
What do you
something.
mean?
I don't know. You said like, it's not you. It's a little bit of a talk show with it,
So
and
it's
then
kind of like a podcast, and it was like if it was like what we were doing right now, but you were sucking my dick.
right.
The Warhol Factory,
Yeah.
you know, or my version of it, but Warhol did like a ton of porn.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
remember the gallery west of O'Connor on Broadway. They sold it out of the back room, and he staged orgies and just
what
walked
would
around
you
doing
do if
close-up
you made a
Polaroids.
porn, Ron? What would a Ron English porn look like?
You know, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. And the reason I don't want to think about it, because if I think about it, then I'll have a bunch of ideas, and then I'll want to do it, and then I'll become very frustrated.
Why don't
So-
we, like, it would be cool if we just set up one of, like, your environments, you know, get all your creatures and your objects and get all the shit and just, like, set something up, throw some black lights on it.
Okay.
And just, like, get some
Well, we have
some
this high-
attractive
we
people
have
to
this,
act something
this beautiful
out.
high school for 6 months and this space for 6 months.
Wouldn't that
so-
be awesome to, like, shoot a porn scene in a high school?
I don't know. I've never done
Pause,
it.
pause. Is this interview done or what's up?
When you get tired of talking, it's over.
Did God create man or did man create God?
How the fuck should I know?
I bet you're
How the fuck
Sucklord.
should I
You got
know?
Lord in
Why
your
the
name.
fuck would I know the
Sucklord.
answer to that?
I asked him and he didn't
It's
know.
probably some type of worm Ouroboros, you know, where it just goes around and around. And probably from this vantage point, because we're in some linear perception of events, that we don't see creation as a simultaneous thing. I'm not a fucking Christian, I'm not a religious person, but like as part of one of all the great stories that have ever been told, I love the Jesus story. I love Jesus. I love that whole thing. Oh. You know, yeah, I like the Bible.
But he was an anti-superhero because he got beaten mercilessly and crucified, and if he was a superhero, he would have popped the nails out and then jumped down and whooped ass on everybody, right?
Well, no, I think his superpower, if you really want to look at it in these terms, his superpower was just letting them do what they wanted to do to him, not fighting back, just like taking it.
That's a really bad superpower.
No, it's not a bad superpower.
Have you ever been mugged?
I have been mugged, but I mean, if you want to subscribe to like what the story of Christ is the idea of this, the ultimate sacrificial power, the ultimate ability to submit yourself for other people and let these people demonstrate their worst selves, you know, and then return from that and be like, sorry, motherfuckers, you know, you can't kill me because love is eternal. I'm not into religion in like, you know, like a dogmatic way. I'm just into it as it's just like I feel like all of the religious stories from all the backgrounds have elements akin to all of mythology and all fantasy and even contemporary fantasy, and I think it's all contiguous in some way. And you know, you can extract the same meaning. We human beings need to retell themselves these same stories over again, that they're okay and like death isn't gonna end, and like we need to believe in something.
When the Trump character happened, I thought, because I grew up with Christians, Sucklord.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are super, they're in pursuit of wealth and power, and I mean, they seem to be the antithesis of who their biggest hero is.
But those aren't real Christians. Those are like,
of course, they're real Christians. Why are they not real Christians?
Because everything they do is completely contrary to everything that Jesus Christ ever said and stood for.
But they're still Christians.
True. Yeah, that's why.
No, okay, but I thought
it's a subverted, hijacked religion.
I thought that he was the replacement for the original Jesus to them, because he was everything that they wished Jesus had been: blonde, born into wealth.
The thing is, I think the worst tragedy is that.
And Trump has never lost. Nobody's ever beaten him, ever.
How about the last election?
Frankly, we did win this election.
Biden may have beat him in the last election.
Yeah.
And then the 22 election when all his candidates lost, and then in the 2018 when they took a shellacking.
That everybody that he went into business with, he put out of business.
Yeah, and it's still playing out, and it's like the thing is, I don't care about any of that shit. Those aren't real Christian people. I thought
that they can't figure out why did he make so much sense to Christians, and I thought that's why, because he's the winner Christ instead of the loser Christ. I mean, I'm just guessing. I mean, I'm baffled by the whole thing as much as anybody else, but
yeah, I guess I am too.
Don't hate me because I'm rich. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Don't hate me because I have it all. Hate me because I'm an asshole.
I want you all to know this ain't just another talk show. We got big ideas stuffed in little brains. Some of them might seem quite insane, but once you've seen us, you'll agree. You